Hi everyone, this is a quick introduction to how private music lessons for credit work at Swarthmore, with a few tweaks given the still evolving COVID situation this fall. The most important thing to remember is to ask questions whenever you're unsure about something in the program. You can find the Music 48 guidelines on the music program website under the Private Lessons tab. These guidelines have the full, comprehensive information that this video is just a brief introductory guide for. And if confusion still reigns after you check out the Music 48 guidelines, please ask us, either by dropping by the department office, which is room 401 in Lang Music Building on the top floor, or by asking a music faculty member, or by emailing Molly Floyd, our department coordinator, at music@swarthmore.edu. So we have two programs to help facilitate music lessons here at the college. The program for beginners is called the Stop Beginners program, and for more intermediate or advanced musicians, we have the program called Music 48. You're also welcome to take lessons on your own. We can help you find a teacher, give guidance along the way, and you can use the practice rooms in Lang Music Building, but you would just have to pay for those lessons on your own. Now, often people will ask us, am I a beginner or not? Well, I would say odds are if you've taken any kind of regular music lessons in middle school or high school, then you're probably no longer considered a beginner. So let's say you may have studied until 9th or 10th grade, then taken a few years off before college, but you were reasonably serious before that point, then Music 48 is still probably the program for you. On the other hand, if maybe you had a few piano lessons when you were a really little kid, 6 or 7 years old, and you haven't had any lessons since then, well, then you might really be considered a beginner. It's always a good idea, if you're not sure, to ask a faculty member to see which of these programs might be best for you. Okay, so you've decided to take lessons, and you're really considered more of a beginner, or maybe you haven't taken lessons since you were a very little kid, or you've never taken any lessons at all. Then the first thing you should do is enroll in a course called Music 2. This is a class we have called Reading and Making Music, the Basics of Notation, and we offer it every fall. It's also a really fun class. I've taught it a bunch of times, and it's just a great way to develop our musical skills together. We also offer free weekly lessons in either piano or voice as an optional addition to Music 2 through what's called the Stop Beginners program. And then, after you finish Music 2, if you'd like to continue studying piano or voice, you can continue being eligible for the Stop Beginners program for one further semester by enrolling in any other music course or by joining the college chorus. And for that, you would just talk with Joe Gregorio, the chorus director, and he can let you know how you would go about joining the chorus. The Stop Beginners program is not available for academic credit, but you would get credit for whatever course you're linking it to. If you're a more intermediate or advanced musician, then Music 48 would be the program for you. Here's a basic outline of the program. You take 10 weekly 1-hour lessons with your private teacher, and this is a teacher who will help you find. More on that later. You're required to complete 10 lessons, and we also don't fund more than 10 lessons, so 10 is the golden number for Music 48. Everyone is given a financial subsidy to make their lessons affordable, and we'll talk more about the mechanics of that in a minute, but our goal is to make them affordable for everyone. Everyone in Music 48 earns half an academic credit per semester for as many semesters as they participate in the program. At the end of every semester, you then perform for the music faculty as part of your learning process. Now, I know this can sound a little bit scary, particularly if you haven't done much performance for other people before, but actually it's a highlight of the semester for the music faculty to hear the progress that you all have made, and so we hope that you can come to enjoy this experience of sharing your progress and making music in our beautiful concert hall. As part of Music 48, you'll also participate in one of our departmental ensembles directed by a music faculty member. This is a way to give back to the larger musical community at Swarthmore, and also a way to practice the really essential skills of musical collaboration. The first step to joining the Music 48 program is to register for it, just as you would for any other class during pre-registration or during the add-drop period. One of the lovely peculiarities of the Music 48 program is that you may take this course as an additional half credit above the college's credit limit. So, this fall, you may not take more than 5 credits in general at Swarthmore, but you may actually take 5.5 credits if that additional half credit is Music 48. And this is something you might actually have to remind your advisor of, though you should also talk with them about the advisability of taking so many credits. You might want to back off on something else. But just so you're aware, and if you're wondering how you can fit private lessons into your schedule, know that they can count above the normal credit limit. And indeed, there is not a 0 credit option for Music 48. You can't audit it. It has to be taken for credit. However, the ensemble that you join may be taken for half a credit or for 0 credit per semester, just as a way to enable you to participate without incurring extra tuition costs. The next thing to do after you have registered for Music 48 is to sign up for an audition. You should sign up as soon as you know your class schedule. The auditions are on the first Friday of classes, so the Friday at the end of the first week of classes. We'll talk more about the mechanics of what the audition means in a minute, but just know that that's the next thing you should do after you register for Music 48. And you can find the link to sign up on the music program webpage under the Private Lessons tab. Just scroll down a little bit and there will be a link posted there when you need it. There are currently 7 ensembles that satisfy the Music 48 ensemble requirement, and almost all of them are offered every semester. They are the Chinese Music Ensemble, the Chorus, the Gamelan, which is a kind of Indonesian percussion ensemble, the Jazz Ensemble, the Orchestra, Taiko, which is a form of Japanese dance and drumming, and the Wind Ensemble. I won't go into all of the details about these ensembles here. Some of them have auditions and some of them don't, but you'll want to check out the ensembles page on the music program website to learn more about these ensembles and to find the contact information for each director. Even if you're not totally sure yet that you're going to participate in Music 48, it's worth going ahead and auditioning or attending the first rehearsal of an ensemble during the first week of classes, so that when you come to audition for Music 48, you already have your ensemble lined up and you're not scrambling to find one after the fact. Remember that joining an ensemble is a requirement of taking lessons through Music 48, so you'll want to go ahead and sign up during your first week. It's also a nice way to go ahead and get involved in the department and to meet some of the faculty members and just have a sense of participating here in our musical community. Sometimes it will be very clear which ensemble you should join. If you're a singer, you should join the chorus. If you play jazz, you should join the jazz ensemble. If you play erhu or another Chinese traditional instrument, the Chinese music ensemble would be the place for you. If you play cello, you would join the orchestra. But in some cases, it may be much less clear, or you may not be sure. For example, for pianists or for classical guitarists, where there are generally few, if any, spots in ensembles that use those instruments, then you would want to join a different ensemble, maybe where you play a new instrument that you would learn as part of the ensemble, or perhaps you would sing in the chorus. So just talk with us and we'll help to steer you in the right direction. Here is a quick sampling of a few of the things our ensembles have done recently, just to give you a sense of what each one is like. The next step to consider is finding a teacher, and this works differently for voice students and for instrumental students, so let me address each one in turn. For voice students, there are 3 teachers, each wonderful, each who comes to campus to teach. They are Nancy Jansch, Lara Nye, and Clara Rotzok, and Nancy, Lara, and Clara will work together to match students to teachers. They try to accommodate a student's preference for a particular teacher whenever possible, as schedules permit, and so you can go ahead and wait until your Music 48 audition. Then the voice teachers will gather the information they need from you then, and you can find out about your teacher assignment a little bit later. For instrumental teachers, it's a good idea to start the process of finding a teacher before your audition. The reason is that the auditions happen at the end of the first week of classes, and many of our instrumental teachers have very full schedules, and you'll want to make sure that you're at least on their radar, that they know to expect you, and hopefully they can make room for you in their schedule before you audition for Music 48. So you'll at least want to make an initial contact with your instrumental teacher during the first week of classes. We have a list of recommended teachers, some who come to campus, some who are easily accessible via public transit, and we're happy to work with you to find the right teacher for you. So, instrumentalists, you'll just want to go ahead and start contacting a teacher during the first week of classes and talk with them about their availability and their expectations for lessons, and then you can finalize everything in that second week once you've auditioned for the Music 48 program. Okay, so we have arrived at the day of your Music 48 audition, and this is the part that, understandably, sometimes freaks people out. And what we want to do here is to try to get away from that mindset and to make this an experience for your musical growth and to make it as pleasant and as educational for you as possible. So this is hopefully something that, even if you're nervous about it at first, as you go through the Music 48 program, you'll feel more and more confident with your musical skills and hopefully more and more comfortable sharing your music making with other people. Because so many people audition for the program, there's a 4-minute maximum for what you play for your audition. So it's fine if you just play a 4-minute excerpt from a longer piece, but just keep in mind that you'll only be able to play for us for 4 minutes. You'll want to choose a piece that you feel really comfortable and really confident performing. Don't pick the hardest thing you've ever worked on just because you think it may be impressive. You'll only want to play or sing something that you really love and that you feel really confident sharing with us. If you're singing or playing a piece that was designed to be performed with accompaniment, the department provides an accompanist to play for you, free of charge. You just need to sign up to rehearse with that accompanist, and you can find the information about how to sign up on the Private Lessons webpage. You'll meet with the accompanist to rehearse during the first week of classes so that you can go into the audition on Friday feeling really confident and ready to perform with them. Keep in mind that you'll want to sign up for both of these things, the rehearsal with an accompanist if you need one, and your Music 48 audition, after your class schedule has been set. And make sure you take note of that time. It's such a stressful thing if you accidentally miss that first audition, and you'll have a lot going on in your schedule, so you'll just want to make sure that it's firmly in your calendar. Okay, so you've registered for Music 48, you've joined an ensemble, you've made contact with a teacher, and you've performed your Music 48 audition. Now it's time to submit your Music 48 application form. The application form is necessary because this is such a complex program. You may wonder, I already registered, why do I need to apply for the program separately? Well, this happens after you've done your audition, after you've contacted your teacher and you have their information, and after you know the results of your audition and everything's ready to go. Now you have to actually apply to participate in the program. The reason is that there are nearly 100 students at times who participate in this program. There are dozens of different teachers, many different subsidies, many different lesson rates. It's really complicated, so we need this application form from you so that we have all of the information we need to run Music 48. This form is generally due at the end of the add drop period. All of the precise deadlines and the application form itself can be found on the Private Lessons webpage as soon as the semester starts. So that's your one stop for all Music 48 related information. This form has to be submitted on time, and there are no exceptions to the timeliness of submitting this form because of all the administrative hurdles that we then face getting the program up and running. So just take special note of this. If you want to take lessons, you have to submit this form on time. So it's time for you to begin your lessons. As I mentioned before, the program provides for 10 lessons over the course of the semester, and you need to complete 10 by the end of the semester. So that's generally 10 one-hour lessons about once a week. You'll want to have a conversation with your teacher right up front about their expectations for the lessons, the form that they'll take, and you'll find together an agreeable meeting time and also make sure that you understand your teacher's cancellation policy. You should stay in good communication with your teacher throughout the semester. Sadly, due to the ongoing pandemic, the music program is requiring, at least for now, that everyone, teachers and students, remain masked during their lessons, and woodwind and brass players also need to use bell covers over their instruments to keep everyone safe. The music program will provide special instrumental masks and bell covers to anyone who needs one, so please just be in touch with us if you haven't already picked up this equipment from your ensemble director. Enjoy your lessons. Please be in touch with us if you have any questions or problems along the way, and we hope that your lessons are a really rewarding part of your college experience. And now we've come full circle. At the end of each semester that you participate in Music 48, you'll perform in what is very unfortunately called a jury. We have tried to change the name of this several times to be a more lovely sounding euphemism. It's never worked, and so the name jury has stuck. But this is really just like the audition at the beginning of the semester, though in this case it's a chance for us to hear the progress that you've made in your lessons. So you're just going to perform for the music faculty, and we hope that you'll enjoy making music in Lang Concert Hall. Just keep in mind while you're working with your teacher during the semester that you will need some 4-minute excerpt from what you've been working on in your lessons to perform for the jury at the end of the semester. So just keep your ears open for what you feel most comfortable playing and what best demonstrates the progress that you've made. Now, of course, money is a big concern, and we want to make these lessons affordable for everyone. So here's how these subsidies work. All students who are accepted into Music 48 receive a $560 subsidy per semester. That's 70% of the cost of most lessons. That assumes an $80 per hour lesson rate. However, if you're on financial aid through Swarthmore College, then instead you'll receive an $800 subsidy toward the cost of your lessons. That's 100% of the cost of lessons that cost $80 an hour, which is a standard rate. We need to point out for all of these rates that we suggest $80 an hour, but some teachers do charge more than that. We show the teacher rates on our list of recommended teachers, and it's also something you'll want to discuss with the teacher when you meet with them for the first time. Any amount above these subsidy levels is the responsibility of the student to pay. But if you're concerned about this, we always do our very best to find you a great teacher who charges $80 an hour. Please just let us know in case you don't want us to contact the Office of Financial Aid about your status. Otherwise, we will contact them, keeping all information in strictest confidence to determine who is eligible to receive an $800 subsidy. There are a couple of other ways to receive an $800 subsidy for your lessons. One is to be a formally accepted music major or minor, and in that case you would receive the $800 subsidy for every semester once you've declared the major or minor, so generally for your junior and senior years if you declare at the end of your sophomore year, which is typical. There's one other type of subsidy called a Freeman Scholarship, which is a special merit-based subsidy which is available to students who have participated in at least a year of Music 48 at Swarthmore and who are performing at a very advanced pre-professional sort of level. Just a handful of students get these each year based on their end-of-the-year jury in May, and it's a scholarship that's awarded for the whole next year. If you're interested in this, you can find more details in the full Music 48 guidelines. I hope this has been a helpful introduction to the Music 48 program. This is just an outline, so you can find the full details in the Music 48 guidelines. Please let us know if you have any questions, help us spread the word about the program, and we'll look forward to seeing you around the music building.